the craziness that continues to go on in this industry, sometimes we get sometimes rates go down and it's real fun and sexy to talk about. Sometimes rates go up and we're calming fears.
Yeah, I mean, just like you were talking about rates going up and whatnot and where they're at, people still have to realize that rates are good, comparatively.
They are good. There's no doubt comparatively, but the thing with people, and I'm sure you can attest to this, the thing with people is, and myself included, and you, and just about everybody else, is our memories are very short.
Uh-huh.
The news cycles prove that. We have 2-week news cycles, and then nobody remembers what happened 4 weeks ago. It's just kind of how it works.
But then again, like you're saying, people looking at a $600,000 house now with the payment and mortgages and everything adding up, it's like, oh no, we should really be looking at a $500,000 house.
Life changing.
Yeah.
I mean, these are life changing things to people. So when you're working with buyers or sellers, and this type of news comes out, what are some of the questions that you're fielding, and how are you answering them?
It's a little bit different for me with as far as rates go. Because people they want to know why they go up, and a better person to ask about that would be Ryan. But
what about on the real estate side, though, specifically? Because I guess every buyer should be aware of it. I said yesterday, if you're not aware of it as a buyer, you should probably fire your lender by now if they have not called you and let you know rates are skyrocketed from where you were probably pre-approved.
Exactly.
So when you're going through that, I mean, you work with buyers, and so what are some of their fears at this point in time? Do they have to go through a mental reset? What are they going through?
Yeah, they're just they're kind of up in the air because I mean, at one point you're looking at a $600,000 house, like you're saying, and then when it changes, that's a whole totally different house that you'd be looking at. So it's like a total mind reset at that point on, well, where are we going to go now?
Right.
Well, where do we start looking now?
Right.
Where
Do people do people want to wait it out? Is this a shock to the system at this point? And people are like, whoa, time out? Or does this prod people along, or is it different for each person?
Well, yeah, it's different for each person, but as a majority, if you look at a majority of people with rates going up, is they are starting to jump off the fence. And I mean, it's been like that for a little while now, as you see prices,
Have gone up.
Yeah, going up, and then now rates going up. It's usually, our whole atmosphere has been a little weird for a while, because if one's going down, the other one's going up, and vice versa, right? Well, with not that much supply on the market, it's totally different.
Yeah, now you really have interest rates going up, housing prices going up, and inventory still going down.
So now it's I mean, depending on which way it keeps going, if it keeps going like it is, it's going to push first-time home buyers out of the market, which is then going to increase rental rates, and so that market's going to, rentals are going to be the way to go. Yeah,
that's an interesting fact. It's interesting point when you start pushing, and first-time home buyers was part of the reason the first collapse is first-time home buyers started getting pushed out of the way. And there was this getting priced out of housing was I remember something I believe the NAR had put out at one point in time. I think they even did a TV show, like the president of RE/MAX or whatever came on, or a commercial, don't get priced out of housing, like 2007. When you're working with your buyers and sellers, what are they thinking about the market right now? And what is your idea of where we are and where we're going?
Well, it's usually it tends to pick up in the summer, right? The spring, summer, and then kind of cools down. Well, last year that's just what I thought. Started heating up. A lot of homes. Our supply on the market was like 2 months. It went from like 2 years to 2 months. And
in no time. I mean, 2 years, and that's drastic. I mean,
it's huge. We hadn't hit that point since like 05, 04, 05-ish.
I mean, now you're in a position where people must be wondering what's next.
Yeah, what's next? I don't know about you, but I don't have a crystal ball. But with the way things are going, I think people are starting to wonder, if I don't do it now, when am I going to be able to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I see it is the fundamentals of the market are still good. I think the biggest question is going to be moving forward is the buyer pool big enough with these higher interest rates and higher house prices to sustain it? Because I think there was no doubt that the buyers were able to sustain higher home prices, right? Because they were. I mean, they were kept buying them, right?
Yeah.
But now you have this kind of new variable in the algebra equation where X has just gone from 4 to 5 or 3.5 to 4.5 or whatever you want X being the interest rate, and now all of a sudden the affordability has come down on a lot of these houses.
Yeah.
Now the good news, of course, is that you still have a lot of great jobs coming in, but when you're looking at the market moving forward, I mean, what are you telling your buyers and sellers right now?
I'm telling them to keep a close eye on it, because just like we've been talking about, you're looking at a higher priced home when you should really be looking at a lower priced home, and that's why it's good to have a good mortgage advisor.
Yeah.
To help you along with that process, to keep you in line with where you're at, because my job's about showing them their price range and the right home in their price range. And if we're off there, then we're totally off on the whole game.
Yeah, have people started to look at lower price houses over the last 2 weeks, or are people still in shock?
No, I haven't hit too much shock yet.
Or denial, I suppose, rather than shock.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to look at a range of rates and kind of assume that they're going to be higher than where you really want them, right? So I think
most people's mortgage rate is higher than where they want it. for sure. I don't know anybody who's like, yes, I want higher.
Yeah.
We're here with Ryan Smith with Keller Williams. Ryan, we just have a couple minutes left, but do you tend to think that with the current market conditions, you'll see more or less buyers coming into the market? Do you think it's going to scare people into the market or scare people out of the market?
I think it's going to initially scare more people into the market. Hoping that it doesn't, I guess, steadily increase. Because then they'll start to drop off.
Because now 4.5, they don't want to wait till it's 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll be jumping off the fence to get in there, but the supply is lower now. So it's and I've been fighting since the beginning of this year with multiple offers on properties and writing 6 and 7 offers for people. And it's not just the lower market like you would normally think, $200,000, $250,000 range. I went from selling a $250,000 home to a $550,000 home, and I had the same problems. So is that good for people holding higher end properties? Yeah, because they haven't been moving as fast. But yeah.
So the interesting piece, I think, even to take away this before we go to break, though, is you start looking at what you think people are going to get scared into the market. It seems to me like you'll probably have this very a very steep slope of price point go up, and then you're going to see a tabletop a lot faster than people anticipated. That'd be my take on it, simply because if you're saying that people are getting scared into the market, then most likely those people are going to create that rush, and then I think you'll see a tabletop because, quite frankly, affordability is going to have to start setting in. I think we proved over the past few months that people can't afford higher priced houses. They kept bidding them up and bidding them up. And now I think you'll just see that peak, I suppose, come into play a little bit faster.
Yeah, definitely.